Okay guys, welcome back to Living in Colorado Springs. It's Kyle Pettit with you. We are out here on the follow-up of the Black Forest video. Last week, the guys took you through the mainstay of Black Forest. If you didn't see that, go ahead and watch it now. But today, we're on the western half of Black Forest. Man, there are some incredible houses, there's some incredible neighborhoods, and we're gonna be taking you through them today. So, what is on the agenda? We're gonna be going through Gleneagle, out to Sanctuary Point, which Classic and Vantage and some other builders have built this just really killer neighborhood. It's so beautiful. We're gonna head out to Bent Tree, not to be confused with Bean Tree. That's not even a real place. And then we're gonna head out to King's Deer, where you just have these big freaking homes on huge lots, giant trees. It feels so luxury. And then we're gonna head out to Woodmoor. Woodmoor is like really as you're getting close to I-25. So the boundaries today, east and west, is gonna be Highway 83 that heads north and I-25. And we're gonna be screaming back and forth between that. We're gonna be going through a $1.5 million listing that is absolutely beautiful. And you are gonna wanna stick around for that one because it is one of the most beautiful houses that I've ever seen. And we need to get this thing sold. But I'm gonna throw it over to Chris. We're out here at Fox Run Regional Park. Let's show you the park, which is kind of a great centerpiece for Western Black Forest. And then we'll start taking you around so you can see it all. Let's go.
I say, like Kyle said, we are at Fox Run Regional Park right now. Now, one of the best things about Black Forest, in my opinion, and you guys know that I'm jaded about Black Forest, but one of my favorite things is just the outdoor space. So yeah, you live in the trees, but there's this huge regional park here, and they're making big improvements to it as well. I bring my family here all the time. I come with my little guy Axel, we throw the football around, hit the swing set. It's a great place to play. It's not too far from my house. And they're actually about to build a huge new nature center here on the north side of Fox Run Park. It's gonna have walkways above the trees so you can really get a feel for what Black Forest truly is. So parks and open space, huge benefit of Western Black Forest for sure. All right, so we're just leaving Fox Run Regional Park right now. We're headed west on, I believe this is Stella is the name of the road. Like Kyle mentioned, we're gonna cruise over to Gleneagle right now. So we're kind of taking the back way. Gleneagle is actually right off of I-25, but we're taking the back way from Roller Coaster, where Fox Run Regional Park is, over to Gleneagle. So this area, like a lot of areas within Black Forest overall, there's kind of these little pockets where there's kind of a little unofficial neighborhood, sometimes an official neighborhood. This area, I call it Sun Hills. I believe that's actually the name of the neighborhood, but it's a mix of, I would say probably 3-acre lots are gonna be about the smallest, and then they're up to, most of them are around 5 acres. A lot of Black Forest is plotted out in 5-acre lots. You're gonna kind of see that as a little bit of a theme today outside of the neighborhoods that we drive through. So again, just wanted to kind of give you guys a feel of what it is like as you're kind of driving around Western Black Forest when you're outside of the neighborhoods. We're gonna show you some neighborhoods too, but this is what it looks like through a lot of the southern part of Western Black Forest. All right, so as you come out of kind of the main part of Black Forest, we've got those big, tall ponderosa pines. As you get closer to Gleneagle, it turns more into kind of what we're seeing right now. It's a little bit more scrub oaky, and that's what a lot of it's gonna be like throughout Gleneagle. So you kind of, those big tall ponderosas kind of die off as you get closer to I-25 for the most part. And then it's a lot of really cool looking scrub oak. I say really cool looking, but obviously right now we're filming this in the winter/springtime. It's April right now. So none of the scrub oak is bloomed, but you can see like when all the oak trees are bloomed out and it's all nice and green, it's beautiful over here. It's just a little bit different. And some people really want those big tall pine trees and some people don't. And the people that don't want them, usually it's because of what we're looking at in front of us right now, although it's a little bit cloudy today, is the view of Pikes Peak. So when you get into Gleneagle, those pine trees die out a little bit, a lot more scrub oak, but it opens up a lot and you get some amazing views of the Front Range. Honestly, really kind of all the way from Cheyenne Mountain, all the way up north, Pikes Peak, past Mount Herman. Great views of the Air Force Academy. You can see the cadet area, the stadium. So you've got some pretty amazing views in Gleneagle. Like Kyle mentioned, per niche.com, #1 neighborhood in the Colorado Springs greater metro area. A lot of it's because of the views. People think views in Colorado, and Gleneagle is gonna give you those views. All right, so we're cruising north on Gleneagle Road, obviously through Gleneagle, headed from the south to the north. So why is Gleneagle #1 community per niche.com, and I think it's pretty sweet too, honestly. But why is it such a highly rated community? There's a couple reasons. Schools is a big thing. We talk about that a lot in the Colorado Springs area. It's District 38 schools, one of the highest rated school districts in the area. So schools are a big thing. I personally think the bang for the buck is a big reason. Now, I'm gonna say some numbers that are they're not cheap, but as we're driving around, you can see there's nice houses, amazing views. You're sitting up on this bluff, you got great schools, and you're buying in Gleneagle, median price point right now, $700,000 to $800,000. Now again, I know that's not a small amount of money, but for the northern part of El Paso County, Colorado Springs area, it's actually pretty darn good. And as we go through some other communities today, you're gonna realize this is kind of a little bit of a value buy for the area.
Well, here, let me interrupt actually.
Go for it, man.
Hi, I'm back. Hi. Hi, guys. Here's the thing, is that what you'll notice is that if you look at this on Google Maps, it just looks like tight neighborhoods. It looks like a normal neighborhood just on the Google Map machine. But as you look outside, again, I want to draw attention to the lots and like the big trees, the big scrub oak. This does not have suburbia feel. So sometimes people don't want to be as deep in Black Forest on big 5-acre lots, but they also don't want to feel like they're just in a normal suburban neighborhood. And Gleneagle really provides that. And you would really only know that if you watched our YouTube channel and subscribed to it, or you drove through it. Otherwise, like I said, it just looks like every other thing per the Google Maps.
You don't capture like the big mature trees like you were talking about. The lots, yeah, it looks like a spaghetti bowl of roads, but the lots are larger. Homes, they're not the ginormous homes. We have a lot of people that come to town and they're like, man, I don't need a 6,000 square foot house. Gleneagle, normal home size, about 3,000 square feet. So it gives you the option of not having to have this ginormous house right by Black Forest, close proximity to I-25, so you're quick access to Denver or Colorado Springs proper. There's just a lot of good stuff about the location of it. And then you add in the price point you're buying at for other places compared to other places in Black Forest, it makes a lot of sense.
Okay, if it's totally throwing you off that Chris and I are wearing the same jacket, we didn't plan it, but it is cold today, and we're gonna just say that this video is brought to you by Stone Glacier. When you're up here, you have to have a puffy jacket, might as well be Stone Glacier. Anywho, we are in Sanctuary Point. Now, Sanctuary Point is true story, the first neighborhood that I truly fell in love with. I remember coming up here because I had a client that was interested in a build that we saw. So I came up here, I had just gotten a drone and I was like, oh, I'm gonna take it up there and film this neighborhood. It's gonna be so cool. And it was. I mean, this place, it's a little bit more, so unlike Gleneagle where we just were, it's a little bit more of like kind of normal, like the lots are not huge, but you can see that like they back, most of them back to, again, those big tall pine trees, which just give a really good look. And as you can see behind me, what also makes Sanctuary Point so sanctuarious is that view. Now this street just happens to be extremely special and the price point comes along with it. We'll get to that in a second, but you can see Pikes Peak just looking like a snack back there today. It's got the clouds around it. It's still got the snow on top. It's so beautiful. And again, this neighborhood gives a little bit more of a community feel. There's big playgrounds. There's trails that go all the way through Sanctuary Point, miles of trails. And it's very private and very secluded. This place is gorgeous. And it's really, really new. So Vantage and Classic were the main builders out here. They built almost every house in this area. So as you drive through, there is a certain feel and everything is really, really cohesive, where the houses are not though. Like you can see, as you see on the driving tours, you can see that the houses are not like same, but they are cohesive and it's got a really good look. Now, what do these babies cost? Well, the average size is about 4,000 square feet. So pretty big houses. I mean, truthfully, that is like way too big of a house for me. And the average price is right around 1.2 million. And I was looking, now granted, it's pretty early on in April. The spring market is starting to heat up, but there's only like 3 or 4 homes for sale up here in this area, and they're all right over $1 million. So you have to take that into consideration. I'm not expecting that somewhere like this is gonna have high turnover because of the price point because a lot of people are moving here and it's like dream home kind of scenario, but Sanctuary Point is really, really gorgeous. But I know what you're thinking.
I'm not paying over $1 million to live right next to my neighbor.
Neither would I. So let's take you over to Bent Tree, which are 2.5 acre lots, a little bit more manageable than those big 5 acre lots out in Black Forest. 2.5 acre lots in the trees. And let's see if those are more your style.
All right, so we're in Bent Tree now. And like we said when we left Sanctuary Point, Bent Tree is a lot different. So in Bent Tree, you're gonna have 2.5 acre lots. Some of them are gonna be a little bit bigger, 3, maybe even a couple 3.5s. But for the most part, 2.5 acre lots, you got a lot of space between yourself and your neighbors. Now Bent Tree, the ages of homes vary a lot because there's, as I think I mentioned earlier, there's several different filings in Bent Tree, so just as the community has expanded. So you'll find stuff in here that was built early 90s, like around 1990. I don't know if there's any late 80s, but definitely early 90s. And then there's stuff that's just been built within the last few years here in Bent Tree. So it's just, when you think, me personally, having lived here quite a while, when I think Western Black Forest, Highway 83 over to I-25, Bent Tree's honestly the community I think about the most. I feel like it is Western Black Forest because, like we've said a couple times, it's not those big 5+ acre lots. It's 2.5 acre lots, elbow room between your neighbors, really nice houses. When we're talking Bent Tree, your median price point is going to be around $125,000 to $130,000. They're also going to vary a lot. Some of these older homes have not been updated, so those are going to be lower priced. And then there's going to be some, spoiler alert, we might show you another house later on in this video that's priced more like that 1.6, 1.7 mark. So there's a lot of variation depending on how updated a home is in Bent Tree. But again, Western Black Forest, Bent Tree, that's what I think about. I say we drove from Bent Tree up to King's Deer, which is another neighborhood here, western part of Black Forest. One thing that a lot of folks that we talk to, folks that are moving into town, interested in this kind of northern El Paso County area, one thing of interest is golf courses. So King's Deer, we're actually, as you can probably tell, at the King's Deer golf course right now. This is the clubhouse right behind us. Got the driving range right here. So King's Deer golf course. Now this is more what I would consider kind of a link style golf course. You can see there's not really many trees out here. It's pretty open, but it is a nice course. A lot of people really like it. There's also another golf course at the Woodmoor Country Club. You do have to be a member to golf there, but it's more kind of in the trees. It's in Woodmoor, which we're gonna show you guys here in a little bit. So King's Deer overall as a community, I would say people like King's Deer because they want a big house. I mean, when we're talking King's Deer, we're talking houses, median size is about 6,000 square feet. So these are very large homes that you're checking out behind us right now. 6,000 square feet, median price about 1.4, 1.35, 1.4. So yeah, it is on a little bit higher end of stuff like a lot of what Black Forest is. But again, 2.5 acre lots on average. So you got a lot of elbow room around yourself and your neighbors. And yeah, you don't have a lot of trees up here. You can kind of see, like I said, it's really out in the open, only the trees that have been planted or just kind of sporadically some ponderosa pines. But the biggest thing that people like about King's Deer, why they pick it, the views. So you've got views all the way up to, I mean, like way north up towards Castle Rock, Larkspur area, and then all the way back down. Then you can, Pikes Peak has some pretty good views depending on where you're at in King's Deer. So the views and just kind of that open space feeling, that's what a lot of people like about King's Deer. Also, it's District 38 schools. There's an elementary school right here in King's Deer, so your kiddos are super close by. If that's a big thing for you, like we always say, check out all the stuff online, but D38 is a very highly rated school for our area. So King's Deer overall, great community, golf course, big open space, huge homes, and still right about that median price point for Western Black Forest. So after we're taking off from King's Deer, we're gonna cruise west on Highway 105. So if you were to keep going on this road, it takes you all the way over to I-25, right into downtown Monument, which remember, next time we're gonna show you guys that neighborhood tour, area tour of Monument. But for now, we're gonna go over towards I-25, and we're gonna check out an area, one of the best areas in northern El Paso County, Woodmoor. Ton of cool stuff about Woodmoor. We're gonna tell you guys all about it. We're gonna give you a driving tour over. We're gonna walk around a little bit. Great place in northern El Paso County, right outside of Monument. We're headed there right now. All right, so we are deep in the heart of Woodmoor right now. We're on Woodmoor Drive. One of the things about Woodmoor is that most of the homes are pretty old in here. 80s, 70s built, maybe a couple 90s. but now we're seeing a lot of turnover where these houses are getting updated. So we were driving by a few, we were kind of chatting in the car about it. These houses that I remember being honestly pretty janky looking, now totally remodeled, fully redone. There's actually one we're driving by right now that got the big dumpster out front, which means it's gonna get a fat remodel. So Woodmoor is really starting to make a turn of being kind of that older neighborhood. And it's, like I said, just a lot of remodel, kind of some younger blood, if you will, getting into the neighborhood. And that's a good segue into where we're gonna go now. We're gonna do a quick drive-through. We're not gonna stop today. We might have to do a separate video on it. We're gonna do a quick drive-through through the Woodmoor Country Club area. Now, I'm gonna say from personal experience for everybody, I used to think this was total poo-poo, honestly, and it was a bunch of old people. No offense to old folks out there right now, but I actually am a member of the Woodmoor Country Club now. It's not a super fancy country club, don't get excited about that, but there is just kind of a more refreshing feeling to it, and they've done a ton of updates to it recently. So now it's actually a pretty nice club to be a part of, and because it's here in Black Forest, it's kind of the option if you want something like that in the area.
All right, you guys are probably sick of seeing Chris's face, so you got Kyle back. But I'm in another section of Woodmoor. Woodmoor is so interesting because, like, as you just saw from all the footage that when Chris was talking, it was like deep in the trees, right? The Woodmoor. And now I'm also still in Woodmoor, but I'm out on these a little bit bigger lots. First of all, I have to stop here to admire this view of Pikes Peak. Whoever lives in this house has got $1.5 million view. It's incredible. But that's what's interesting about this part of Woodmoor, is you're not deep in the trees. You have a little bit, still good sized lots, half acre, 3/4 of an acre. Technically a little less privacy because you're not in the forest, but the houses get better views, just kind of all over. They're a little bit more open, they're a little bit more airy. It's kind of like snaking roads all throughout. Now, a lot of these were built, like Chris said, in the 90s. As you go back to where Chris was just filming, those are more like, you might have more 80s builds up there, but even out here, you're starting to get a lot more renovation, a lot more updating, because truthfully, the prices are having a hard time keeping up with what the market is demanding, because at some point someone goes, you want me to pay how much for an unupdated house? And then the swing, once a house is updated, is pretty dramatic. So in fact, you might hear in the background over here, we got a couple gentlemen that are building a full wraparound deck. You can tell that there's a lot of updates happening to this house. These houses over here have been updated. And so most of the houses around here are about 3,500 square feet. And it is, I think the average price is right in that 800. If it's a really nice remodel, you might start pushing 850 plus. But again, it's gonna be a little bit dependent on view, lot size, depth and quality of renovations, and then just general location. But Woodmoor is a really special place in the northern Colorado Springs area.
All right, so thank you for sticking around till the end. We all know that a neighborhood tour is not complete without a nice house tour of a house that's really kind of representative of what that area is. And this house right here is extremely representative of Western Black Forest. So it's a little bit older home, 1992 build, but fully updated. When we check it out inside, you're gonna be shocked that this is a 1992 build house. About 6,500 square feet, sits on almost 3 acres, happens to be in that bent tree community that we took a look at earlier. So we're gonna check it out inside. Kyle's gonna give you a tour of the upstairs. We're gonna check out some more stuff outside. And at the end, we're gonna finish up with what I think is a pretty sweet kitchen remodel in this guy right here. Yo, you ready?
I am. This house is so nice, it's put me in my luxury voice mode. Come on up. How can you not walk up here and immediately just be like, what? There's a fireplace up here in this cute little living space. Amazing little gas fireplace. I have to acknowledge good taste. The iron railing, like Chris said, all the flips, everything that was updated and remodeled was done super well. The craftsmanship is great. Everything, even down to like the custom cabinets that we'll show you in the kitchen, because you're gonna wanna see that. But look at this just giant chandelier. Like, that is a timeless chandelier. It's beautiful, it's gold, it's soft light, it's not harsh. Now, this place is, was it 5 bedrooms? So I don't necessarily want to walk you through every bedroom. I am just going to show you that they are generous size, and then we'll focus on the main ones because we don't want to be in this house for, 3 hours. But you come in, you've got a little Jack and Jill bedroom situation here, and you can see they're good size. Now the ones in the basement are even bigger. And when we say Jack and Jill, if you've never heard that term, that is 2 bedrooms that are connected by a shared bathroom. But what's cool is that it still has a double vanity. And then, this is just like the water closet and shower. So we'll walk all the way through. Let's go check out the master, because the master is enormous and it's beautiful and is very tastefully done. Welcome. This space is enormous. I love this. This just screams luxury. It is beautiful. The carpet, okay, I am a stickler for carpet, people. I've been in multiple $1.5 million homes, $2 million homes, and the carpets are like crunchy or bleh on my feet. This is soft, it's plush, it's not like a harsh color. Now, before we go into the bathroom, you do have separate closets, his and hers, hers and hers. It's 2024, whatever you want to do these days. I actually have not even opened this. I don't know what's in here. Linen closet for this perfect master bathroom. First of all, I love these big white tiles. I love standalone tubs. If you can find me a president that will make standalone tubs the standard, I'll vote for him. But then you also have totally separate vanities. And you can come in so you can see this one. Again, they didn't go cheap. It is nice granite. I'm really bad at rocks, if I'm being honest, but nice granite countertops. Even these are soft close and made by the same person that did, I have to shout them out because they're so nice. First Call Cabinets, www.firstcallcabinets.com. I have to shout them out because they also did the ones in the kitchen, which when we get to them, you'll see how beautiful they are. But look how wide these are. These are worth the cost. And then y'all know that I am a sucker for a good shower. This thing is huge. It's actually, I'm gonna close this because I want you to see it. It's a very, very small gap right here, but this is actually a steam room. Okay, now, the master suite is great, but it's what about the rest of the house? Is there as much attention in the rest of the house? Well, we're gonna skip the next most exciting thing, which is the kitchen, because we're gonna get there, the kitchen in the main living area, because it is worth the basement and the outside. By the way, if you didn't notice, there's also a deck right here. I forgot to mention that. But Chris is downstairs in the basement. So Kemper, you go ahead and send it down there. Chris is gonna take you outside.
All right, so this is a basement, but I'm telling you, this does not feel like a traditional basement. Huge windows. It's a walkout to what would be the south side of the house, but even the rest of it has some really, really huge window wells that let in a ton of natural light. But it's not just the lighting, it's just the feel of the space. Huge living room area. I don't even know how many square feet the basement is. I'm guessing it's about 2,000 square feet in the basement. So big living room area. You've got a small, I'm gonna call it a kitchenette. There's no stove down here, but you've got a microwave, you got a mini fridge. If you wanted to have a totally separate living quarters down here, maybe you wanna rent it out, I don't know. You could definitely put some type of a hot plate or something, maybe even a bigger stove. You have exterior access, like I said, because of the walkout. And you actually have 2 full bedrooms in the basement. So you've got 2 full bedrooms and a full bathroom in the basement. So the space downstairs, it's just like the rest of the house. Fully remodeled, fully updated. Everything ties in. It's the same flooring and trim work as what you saw upstairs. All the doors, all the millwork, it all matches perfectly. So like Kyle mentioned, the remodel on this thing is top notch. So that's the basement side of it. And like I said, this is a nice freaking basement, but let's go check out the outside because that 3 acres is a really, really nice perk of this house right here. So 2.86 acres. That's a pretty, it's actually it's a pretty good sized lot for Bent Tree. And the Western Black Forest area, like we kind of mentioned, that's a nice perk of it is, it's not all 5+ acres. There's a lot of these options where it's 2.5 acres, which honestly, it's a little bit more manageable than what a larger lot is. I live on a good bit larger lot out in Black Forest, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of stuff to deal with on a day-to-day basis, especially annual stuff you have to always get done. So there is a big benefit to the little bit smaller lot, but I mean, you can tell 3 acres is a lot of space. You can see, man, you can kind of see a neighbor back through there, but not really. You've got a neighbor back here kind of behind this shop, which we're gonna talk about. And then you can see your next door neighbor kind of close to this side, but close is relative, right? Like we showed you some homes over in Sanctuary Point where they're real close together at almost the same price point, honestly. So the fact you've got this 3 acres is pretty sweet. And for this house specifically, they did the landscaping up right, in my opinion. They left a lot of it natural, so it's not quite as much maintenance. They did a really nice gazebo and fire pit back here. Sometimes gazebos aren't done very well. This one, stucco matches the house, the roof matches the house. Super nice. I mean, just, it's a great entertainment area back there. They got the grill back there. And then something for me personally that I really like, this huge detached shop out here. It's got the RV door so you can park your RV. I'm guessing that thing's about 35 feet deep. So you can park an RV in there, workshop, extra car storage, whatever you want it for. But the shop is a huge feature, and it's got a concrete driveway all the way back to the front of the shop. So the outside space in this house, it feels nice and quiet. It's peaceful. There's nothing going on right now at all. You can't hear anything. There's no road noise over on Higbee, which is a little bit busier road. So it's tucked back in here on the 3 acres, super quiet, well done exterior. But I think personally, as much as I love the outside of this house, and I do, I think the main level remodel in this house and this kitchen is probably the highlight for me personally. So let's swing back inside and Kyle's gonna show you this kitchen remodel.
Check this out. So, nice living space, a 3rd fireplace. Now, I'm actually particularly keen on the fireplace in the basement. I like it a lot. I love those wood burning fireplaces. They put off a freakish amount of heat, which is amazing. But 3 fireplaces, nice big open. Now, the kitchen is not overwhelming, but it is so good. It's, first of all, the colors, the textures, the details, everything is perfect. I told you guys already, I'm not good at rock. I think this is quartz. Chris, is this quartz or granite?
Quartzite.
How do you know that?
Doesn't look like granite.
There you go. You heard it here, folks. Okay, I love these fixtures because, again, they're not like super aggressive. Nice soft lighting, this beautiful, okay, a 5-burner, big old gas range. Look at these drawers. Look how wide they are. Again, these are that same first call cabinets. Even in the island, he's super wide. If I was a measuring man, I'd measure it, but probably 30 inches. Everything is soft close. Everything feels super good. Everything is measured. There's no gaps. Everything is so tight and fits perfectly. I'm gonna be honest. I think that this place is priced perfectly, and this is a great representation of what you can get in the Western Black Forest area, especially for those that are moving from really kind of higher price markets, California, where you could pay 1.5 million for a freaking studio or like a 2-2 single family home. Imagine this type of place being yours. All right, so this has been Western Black Forest. Now maybe Western Black Forest is a little bit too pricey. Maybe it's a little bit just outside. So our next tour, so subscribe to the page if you haven't already. Our next tour is gonna be Monument. Yeah. Monument is just a little bit south of here. Look, technically it's not the same as Colorado Springs, but like, whatever. Colorado Springs and Monument and all these, it's like, you never know when you go from one to the other, unless you really know. Yeah. They're all together. But we're gonna take you through in the next video, the Monument one. And so make sure you subscribe to the video because that is a growing, there's a ton of commercial development there. There's a lot of building going on there. And there's a lot of really good amenities still in great school districts, but at a lower price point. Now there's also still higher price points too. So we'll make sure to clarify that. Otherwise, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you subscribe, check out our, wherever it's gonna be at here, the neighborhoods playlist, And once you're ready, let us know, and we'll get
call
you
it.
a more in-depth view of whatever neighborhood it is that
Everything
you're trying to move
Colorado
to.
Springs.